The Honshu wolf, also referred to as the Japanese wolf, was a subspecies of wolf native to the Japanese islands of Honshu, Shikoku, and Kyushu. However, not Hokkaido. The island did have its own species of wolf endemic there. What makes the Honshu wolf so interesting is that its phylogenetic evidence indicates this species as the last surviving member of the Pleistocene wolf lineage. All other Pleistocene wolf lineages died off around 7,500 years ago. This makes the Honshu wolf a truly special animal. Another interesting story of its genetics is how closely related to dogs it is. Quite possibly the two may share a common ancestor. It doesn't seem as if the wolf itself was tamed. However, many dog breeds originating from Japan share DNA with the wolves from past hybridization. If you want to know, the Hokkaido wolf belonged to the lineage of the modern-day gray wolf. Japanese civilization is old, very old. If you don't believe it, they have the longest continuous line of monarchs in the world. During Japan's long history, the human and the wolf have come into contact quite a lot. For a long time, wolves were seen as the guardians of the mountains and the forests within them. In Japanese folklore, the wolf was seen as a lonely escort who would follow a lone traveler through the dark forest until they had reached their destination. In Shinto belief, the Honshu wolf was regarded as the messenger of the kami spirits. It has been said that if the traveler did not make it back, then the wolf would go to their home and make a sad howl to signal their death. This is a brief explanation, but the kami are the spirits of Shintoism. They are sacred and take the form of things and concepts important to life. When someone dies, they become kami. Another interesting fact about the Honshu wolf was that many mountain villages were named after the wolf, like Okamiwa, which translates to Wolf Rock. In the Tamaki Mountains, there is a tree called the Cypress of Dog Howls, which is said to be a site where wolves howled immediately before a flood in 1889, warning the local villagers. It is very much true that animals tend to realize when natural disasters are coming before humans do. Sadly, in the 1700s, diseases like rabies and canine distemper were introduced to the island and impacted the Honshu wolf population severely. Over time, bounties were put on the wolves. I would think the diseases definitely impacted this. Rabies is something you don't want to have, and it can cause irrational and strange behaviors in animals. Seeing as the first wolf bounties started showing up around the same time these diseases became introduced probably isn't a coincidence. The last stand of the Honshu wolf was with the Emperor Meiji. After the Meiji Restoration, the years of the shogun rule had ended. Japan became unified as one nation, and Emperor Meiji wanted all the citizens to see themselves as Japanese and create a distinct culture. He also sought to rapidly modernize the country, meaning having a bunch of feral, sick wolves attacking people was not something he wanted. Meiji national policy was directed at killing the wolves. This story has a sad ending. In 1905, the last Honshu wolf was captured and killed. Since then, the species has been considered extinct. It is a sad contrast how a species could be loved so much, then be faced with such violence by the same people who wrote wonderful stories about them. Sadly, the story is not at all unique to Japan. The same extinction of species caused by us happens all over the world. Oddly, the same stories of the wolves howling in 1889 that saved the villagers is repeated. It is said the wolves howled once again before the Great Earthquake of 1923. This, of course, was years after their official extinction. The howl of the wolf is still reported throughout Japan, and there have been sightings. The most notable one was from Hiroshi Yagi, who took pictures of an animal he believed to be the wolf in 1997. He described it as an animal that did not fear him at all. He offered it food with his left hand, since he was right-handed, and figured if it bit off his hand, he would still have the dominant hand. My personal opinion is not to offer a perceived wild animal food, but this is what he did. The animal sniffed the food but did not eat it, and then disappeared into the woods again. Experts have said the animal resembles the Honshu wolf, from what we know of taxidermied specimens and sketchings. However, without genetic information, this cannot be confirmed to be a Honshu wolf. This is all mostly speculation. It is not right to say you can't prove the wolf isn't extinct. It should be said that the wolf is extinct, since that statement can actually be disproven. Japan also has a very large population, and most of them do live in the cities, but it is unlikely the wolf could have been undetected for so long. A lot of the reports, too, could also be misinterpretations of feral dogs. since even Meiji officials had trouble distinguishing the Honshu wolf and feral dogs. The Honshu wolf was a beautiful animal. Despite its extinction, the wolf very much lives on in Japanese media and culture. There are still 20 Shinto shrines in Honshu dedicated to the wolf. The Honshu wolf must remain as a messenger to our times to take care of the life we still have, because it can disappear all too quickly.